We are live, Believe Nation. How we doing? Happy Friday. Friday CEO day for me. Let me just pop in here. Ask us your questions. Ask us your questions. Let's pin that. Man, what a day. So I've been playing with my Friday, where part of what I do Friday mornings is I have a list of. Let me see how many people are on this list. Let me see if my friend is Mark in the. Is Mark? Oh, Mark is in the chat. Okay, I'm not going to tell the story. Mark didn't show up last week, so I had storytelling time. But we're going to bring him in this week. There he is.
How's it going?
I'm good, man. I was all ready to tell a story because you didn't show up last week. But then it's
I,
like, oh,
I,
Mark's
I was
actually in the
listening to
chat.
the story, and then I realized that rather than doing the circle thing, you invited me in, and I was like, oh, I have to hit this button. Okay, here we go. What's your story? I want to hear it.
Oh, so Friday mornings I spend time. I have a list of all the people that I've made because I've helped so many people over the years, right? Like, and the circle of contacts has been.
I've helped so many people over the years. Humble brag. Yep. Okay, keep going.
But especially in the past 6 months, that circle has just blown up.
In the past 6 months, I've just been helping everyone so much.
It's really blown up. And just like this person said, hey, you need to, people that you know, right? This is what's happened in the past 6 months. People that you know and recognize that I've helped with their YouTube channels over the past years are saying, hey, Evan, can you talk to my friend whoever, who I've never heard of, and help them with, so I just got off the guy, like huge entrepreneur I've never heard of, helped him with his YouTube channel. And so I'm now, my struggle is I don't think to keep in touch with people.
CRM.
Yeah.
On the simplest terms.
No. Just an Evernote file. Forget a whole CRM. Jesus.
No, I'm just saying you just need something. You just need a really smart email calendar integration that will just send you reminders. Hey, today I got to send this email. Today I got to send this email. Today I got to follow up with this person. It's been 3 months.
So I dedicate Friday mornings to, sometimes people want to hop on calls, like two giant YouTubers who we both know super well. Their team wants to talk. I'm like, hey, Friday mornings, that's my day to do stuff, to help people. And then other people, if I just keep track of the last time I connected with them, and it's been over 3 months, then I reach out and just see how they're doing or send some value. So anyway, it's been a fun morning. I like having this dedicated time to do it. Yeah. It's dedicated. It's good.
Let's go.
Okay, anyway, we're here, Self-Improved Podcast. This is the bonus episode where Mark and I answer your questions. So use the question mark box tool there below, and we'll dive in. Are you ready to go, Mark?
I am.
Okay, let's go. First up is Body and So High. Body and So High. Okay, tell us how to find balance between hobby and work, please.
So it depends, I think, whether your hobby and work are the same thing or different things. And so I've heard it described 2 ways, and I think that people subscribe to it 2 ways. So Alex Trebek, right, the guy from Jeopardy, who spends all of his time when he's at work reading and thinking. He loves, I've heard him interviewed, he loves puttering and gardening and building things with his hands. Because he spends all his time at work up here, so he wants to spend all of his hobbies in the things that are just peaceful, meditative, and that challenge him in other ways. And so I think if you have a hobby that takes you outside of your normal thing, and it's the other side of you, I think that's really good and it's healthy. If you want to make a ton of progress, make your hobby the same thing as your work, and you will then find yourself playing. You're you'll be like, oh, it's 6 o'clock, time to finish work, and then at 7:30 you find yourself back just like playing around with things and trying things, and that's because your hobby is your work. And I've found myself at different points in my life doing both, where I go home from work and I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to start a new, I'm going to design a new landing page because that's so much fun to work on, or I'm going to design a new campaign, or I'm going to do this or that. And then in that case, my hobby is my work.
The balance questions are always so personal. What do you value? Where do you want to spend time? And that may change on an even week-to-week basis. So, Mark and I have different versions of balance. Mark wants to raise chickens and run naked in his backyard, and he likes mowing the lawn. It's like all of that stuff is bonkers to me. I want to spend 0 time doing that. I want to spend time dancing salsa with my wife and playing League of Legends, which Mark has 0 interest in.
I can't do.
Right?
I'm not interested in salsaing with Nina. It's just not my hobby.
Right. Well, there you go. So you need to figure out what it is that balance looks like for you. Like how much time do you need to spend on whatever that hobby is that you've got in your mind, right? And then put it in your calendar. We only put in our business things where I think you need to put everything in. Even the discussions we started this show, the fact that now I have Friday mornings to be able to help the people who are, big name people in my community that could use help. Otherwise, those two YouTubers, I would have made time for, but it would come at the expense of something else, and then I'd feel like my life is out of balance. Like I'd squish them in on a Tuesday, but that means I can't record as many videos, or I'm stressed to record the videos, or squish them in on a Thursday, and then that takes away from something else. So now so many people, like it's happening at
third humble brag of the episode.
It's happening at an increased frequency. That's like, I need to make sure that that I have dedicated time on my calendar for this, because it's starting to consume my other projects. Like, one-off is fine, who cares? But if it's happening consistently, you need to factor it in. So League of Legends, tonight I'm playing at 6 o'clock Eastern on my new YouTube gaming channel, right? Come check it out, ask me more questions. I schedule that in because I don't have this IG Live with Mark. I don't have time for this. It's scheduled in. Like it would never, like we left this to when you've got time, make it happen. It would never happen because I never have time.
But Evan, if you had to say hobbies and work, would you not, not balance, but just hobbies and work, would you not suggest that if people spend all their time looking forward to their hobbies and spend all their time dragging themselves to work, that something's wrong?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
That's not the
question. Next question.
Okay, fine. That's it. That's body and so high. That's it. That's all Mark wants to give you today. So
try and bring your hobbies and work into more alignment, I would say. But anyway.
Severina Royalty. How to get motivation every day?
I love that question. So this is something I think about a lot because I really struggle, not daily. I'm motivated every day. I struggle in times of day. So I actually know that if I wake up in the morning, more often than not, my mornings are times where I'm focused and I feel free and the whole day is ahead of me.
If I wake up in the morning?
Okay,
great. Okay, because otherwise you're waking up in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, I always wake up in the morning. But if I wake up in the morning and I find myself, anyway, the morning times I'm energized because the day is full of potential. I'm really excited because I feel fresh, because I slept. I have my coffee. It's peaceful. It's quiet. There's this window between like 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. when none of the rest of the world or my team is really bugging me for anything. And I love that, and I find that energized. And more often than not, the world then knocks on my door at 11 or 12 or 2 p.m. or something, and I start having to deal with other people's problems, and that kind of drags me down. So what I do is I don't look to try and stay motivated every day on the same thing, because you're not going to. I don't try to look to say, am I feeling motivated right now? What I look for is what can I jump on that excites the hell out of me right now? Because today I might have had to make a video, and because today is my scheduled day to make a video, but if I'm not really feeling it, then I'm going to save that for tomorrow morning, right when I wake up, when I feel my most energetic, because that's how I am. And I'm going to save that because I'm going to have a better video and it's going to go a lot better then. And I'm going to ask myself, out of the 5 or 10 things that I could be doing right now, what is the thing that's most exciting to me? And I slot that in. It's very different than Evan's approach, because what I've started doing now is looking at, rather than slugging my way and trying to motivate myself through blocks of time, I know I have 5 things I need to work on. And if I focus on the one that excites me the most right now, it's going to be way faster and more productive than just like grinding my teeth to get through it. So I look for excitement and I look for motivation in the blocks of time. And for me, that's like a lot of variety and a lot of things that I can be bringing in.
Yeah, I think the challenge with that for most people is decision fatigue. In that I think it's really helpful to have a schedule and know what you're doing and stick to the schedule unless you're really not feeling it and then something is broken. To wake up every day and then think, what do I want to work on today?
I have your schedule. I do have your schedule. The next layer for me is if I go, great, next thing in my schedule is that I'm going to I'm going to spend an hour writing a brief for my team. And I'm like, ugh, writing this brief for my team, right? Like, then that's my body telling myself that this is not going to be a good use of time. This is not going to be a good brief. Is it going to really kill me if I wait till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning when I can hit it, when I'm my freshest, when I have all my energy and I can put on some music and I know that I'm feeling good?
Yeah, but
I'm gonna do
hold
tomorrow
on,
morning
hold on,
6
hold on.
a.m.
You're going to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow and still be like, okay, Mark, let's go write a brief today? No, you can be like, oh, I don't want to write this. This is how I'm going to start my day today, is write this stupid brief.
I did one this morning. It's great. I put on some music. I had my coffee, and I'm like, I'm writing this brief. I'm killing it. I'm crushing this brief. It's so good. And I sent it off at like 6:48, and I'm like, boom, did it while people are sleeping. Yes.
Then the actual hack to your schedule should be eat the frog. The stuff that you like the least, you put into the morning at 6 a.m. that have to get done that you don't enjoy.
My point is that you're not going to be motivated about the same thing every single day. And you're not going to be motivated all day long about the same one or two things all day long. Like I think you need variety. That's my take, yo. You have tons of variety. You have a different day every week. You're working on.
Yes,
you have a ton of variety.
No, here's the thing. Scheduled variety. Scheduled, and I'll go off the reservation every now and then, but for the most part, no, not all the time. Most of the time, I'm sticking to my schedule. You might hear about it when I go off the reservation, but I have a lot of scheduled variety, and I think that's actually great. As someone like, I love creative work, but it also gives me, knowing that, even this example, knowing that Friday mornings now I have this time to focus on, I love everything in my calendar. There's very few things that I schedule in that I hate, right? There's things that I have to deal with that I don't like, but if it's in my calendar and I don't like it consistently, that's a problem that needs to be destroyed. Like, if I ever was like, oh, I got to write a brief to my team, and that happened twice, I'm not writing briefs anymore. Not happening. I'm not in the brief writing business. Nope. Nuh-uh. Not anymore. We're figuring out something else. Someone's going to sit in with me on the call, and they're going to write the brief for the team, because I hate doing that stuff, right? If that was my mindset going in. So I love making YouTube videos, and I love my CEO day, and I love my project day, and I love my public facing day. And I think actually staying in energy zones is really, 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 really important. Having a creative day to work on whatever projects you want to work on, or when I'm doing my interviews and I can stay in that same energy zone, I think is really important. You actually become a lot more productive. I think if you wake up every day and say, I've got 8 things that I could work on, what do I want to work on? I think you're actually going to be way less productive.
I agree with you. I don't do that. So please, I'm not suggesting that people do that. I don't think you should wake up and go, what should I start today? What do I feel like? No, that's not.
But you said you got 5 things to work on. What am I most excited about? And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, so I have my blocks of time, and I have my days, and I have a task list for each day for what I'm hoping to accomplish that day. So I have my Monday task list, my Tuesday task list, my Wednesday, and so on. And then I have a general task list. And if I look at something where I'm just like, this is not pressing and it's going to kill my energy and flow today, I'm going to push it off for a different day and swap one of the other 5 things in that excite me more.
That's too much.
There's no shortage of work, dude, for me.
There's no shortage of work for anybody. Who has a shortage of work if you're an entrepreneur?
Right. So
there's too much thinking. There's too much thinking as opposed to just doing.
As opposed to feeling, right? There's just too much thinking.
Not even doing. There's too much thinking. No, in that 18 minutes of hemming and hawing, you could have done something.
18 minutes. Come on. Anyway, next question. Next question, Evan.
Come on, Drager. Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's the name of the new podcast.
Behind the snack.
Come on, Drager. Jesus.
Behind the snack. How can we improve on being focused without having distractions?
So, I mean, I think that there's environmental things that you can do. I think that so in your environment, are you in a place where you're easily distracted? Like I used to love, back when I could, on Friday mornings, I would go to Starbucks and I would put on my Beats and I would work from the moment they opened at 6 a.m. and I would stay typically till about 11 to 1 p.m. And I only stayed that long because I can't sit in their chairs for any longer than that. I'm used to a standing desk. And so if I could sit for longer, I would. I'm not easily, like, that environment does not distract me at all. But if you find yourself in that environment distracted all the time, then that's not going to help you. If you find, during COVID, I got 4 kids, your kids are constantly coming in then they need to know, hey, when the door is closed or when it's locked, you're not allowed in here. I need time to focus. And so I think there's environmental things you can do where you can just try and eliminate the things that distract you. Email pop-ups, taking your phone and turning it upside down so you don't see it bling, 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 bling every single time that something happens. But then you also have to ask if you're getting distracted.
If I had a phone number, that would be my ringtone. That's my ringtone. Yeah.
It's like really old school. If you find yourself though pulled away from what you're doing all the time, I mean, it could be like an ADHD type issue if you're really struggling, or it just could be that you're not into what you're doing. I mean, it's really easy to get distracted from stuff you hate doing all the time, right?
Yeah, so there's a couple scenarios here. The first is setting rules and boundaries so that you are in control of your time and other people aren't barging in, because everybody is going to have an agenda for your time. It's why you can't call me, right? My phone doesn't ring.
I can call Evan.
Who are you going to call?
I call his wife and then say, hand Evan the phone.
and great. And that's going to be, if he does that and it's not like
and then I'll never be allowed. I'll never be allowed to talk to him again.
Right. So, Nina knows. So setting up boundaries on your time really comes down to you feeling like your time is important, is valuable, and you're being intentional about how you're spending your time. Because other people will always want to distract you with their urgent things that you may barely care about, but then for you to get back into the flow of what you were doing becomes really time consuming. Like that one, even just looking at your phone and wondering, what do I want Drigger wants? Screws up my whole flow.
Oh, I was about to say, I don't even know where my phone is, but then I realized we're talking on it.
Wow. You're looking at it, Mark.
I know.
You're looking right at your phone.
Literally, I was looking down. I was like,
you're looking right at it.
I'm like, here's a great example. I don't even have my phone around me. Oh, well, we're using it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one, to Mark's point, is if you're being distracted by other ideas and work, I don't see that actually as a distraction. I see that as something you should move towards. If you're getting distracted by, Facebook and stuff, it's usually because what you're doing sucks. Mark, write a brief. Okay, I wonder what's happening on Instagram. You don't like writing briefs. You shouldn't write briefs anymore, right? Like that's good self-awareness. If you're getting distracted by something, then it's either that you don't want to be doing the thing you're doing right now, or you actually really want to be doing. It's not that you love doing Facebook. You just hate what you're doing right now. So you need to figure out a way to stop doing this thing that you're doing right now. Or two, the thing you're getting distracted by is actually something you need to be moving in towards because you love it so much. Right? So those are your three scenarios.
Or you're just afraid. That's the other thing that comes to mind for me, right? You're just like, you're afraid that you can't do it, that it won't be good enough, that it won't live up to your expectations. And so you're like procrastinating on the start or the completion of it.
Mark Jager. Lights out? Are lights out? I don't know what that means. We have lights on. No? Are you lights out? Oh, lights out? Maybe just like loves the content. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Antonio, let's go. All right, let's go. Next. Empowering mummies. How long you built up your YouTube channel? What was the most difficult thing you overcame?
Evan, your path is crazy long. I know that was it a week or two ago, you reposted all of your numbers, where it's like 5 years for you to get to, I don't know, 8,000 people or something, 7,000 people. And then after that, it's just like boom, 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 it just moved up. How many years was it before? Do you have your numbers memorized or not? Probably not.
No. So
it was 5 years. I remember going like, holy smokes, this is terrible. And then suddenly it's like, 60,000. So and it's like 300,000.
I'm posting it. My goal right now is once a month to post the monthly updates. So, in August, I'll post where I have been in August for the past 11 years.
Okay.
To show the update.
I think it's important to note that I made your first YouTube video for you. So let's just get that out of the way right now.
That's not even a humble brag. That's just like interrupting the conversation.
I think it's important that everyone knows.
The full-on brag.
That
it's an anti-humble brag.
Came to his office with a video camera and lights, and I made your first YouTube video for you.
Wow. All right. Now, what's the opposite of humble?
No, there's no humble brag. I'm going full Kanye here.
Yeah.
Evan. I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah. That's true. Actually, you are interrupting me to tell me how
I'm
great.
going to let you finish.
But you're even worse because Kanye
Because it's
interrupted.
about me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not Beyonce.
He wanted to interrupt to say how great Beyonce was. You're saying,
Yeah.
hold on, stop talking.
Hold on, everyone.
I'm gonna let you finish, but let's talk about how great Mark Drager is. Right. You've transcended Kanye. It's a whole new thing. Jesus. What was the question? So, yeah, it took me about 5 years to get to 7,000 subs, ballpark, and then another 5 years to get to 2 million. But my journey doesn't have to be your journey. One, YouTube was a different beast back then. Nobody was consuming educational content. Nobody watched long-form videos. YouTube was different 11 years ago. And two, I also sucked, right? I'm super introverted, so shy, tried to memorize every word. Really, really, really bad. And I encourage you to go back and watch and laugh at me and just get inspired to say, hey, if he sucked that hard and look at where he's at now, I can do. Like, I think most of you are already way better than what I was when I started. Not maybe now, because this is 6, 7, 8,000 videos later across all my channels. Hopefully you get a little bit better at something with that much practice and repetition. But the most difficult challenge to overcome was honestly just thinking that my voice mattered, that my story mattered, that people would even care what I was making, and I still struggle with it, right? Just at a different level each time. Like, oh, I'm going to be on a stage with David Goggins and Peyton Manning and Brendan Burchard. Like, why am I here, right? So you're just capable of going after, like, that's going to continue to show up in my life, but I'm capable of going after bigger and bigger, slaying bigger and bigger dragons each time. What was your most difficult thing, Mark, starting a YouTube channel? Mark said YouTube channel. He's got 2, right?
Do I? Well, just one.
Oh, okay. Fanta or Mark Drager? What is your channel?
I mean, Fanta still exists, but we don't put any content there. Just Mark Drager.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most discouraging thing is putting as much time and energy as into every single piece of content that you're going to put up, and then seeing the stats that no one's watching, that no one's paying attention, and you start to question, what's the point? Why should I do this? Because you're looking at 1 or 2 or 3 videos, and then you step back and you go, well, over the last 6 months this has happened, or over the last year this has happened, or whatever it is. Evan said 5 years to get to 7,000 subs, but what he's not really saying in those 5 years is just how many videos you put out. And so the most discouraging thing for me is I know how much time and effort I put into my content. I know that I put money into my content. And to go like, I think I'm amazing. Why don't more people know about it, right? Or, why is it so competitive? Or why is it taking so long? I think a lot of people give up when they're 3 months or 6 months or a year or whatever it is in, because they just go, well, I've done all of this work and that's all I have to show for it, and they give up too early. And so the most difficult thing for me is to remind myself not to give up. Just keep going. Just keep going.
After that first video, I almost gave up. Not mentally gave up, but I look at after the one we did together, I think it was like 2 or 3 months until my next video came out. I was so traumatized of the experience of working with Mark Drager on a video.
But not that traumatized, because you still shot your own, gave them to me, and I still edited the other ones for you.
Yeah, so just as long as it's not in the room, then I'm fine. But I had to lick my wounds and overcome.
Now, honestly, was it the fact that I was there that traumatized you, or the fact that your mom was sitting off camera basically giving you tips and feedback on how to sit?
My mom is on the wall here.
And Mark Drager isn't. Yeah, that's true.
So there's your answer.
That's true.
Okay, let's get one more. Jarvis Rodriguez. How to overcome self-doubt, Drager.
How to overcome self-doubt. Do you want me to give you the answer that Evan has basically drilled into me over the last 2 years, so his answer or
answer
my
the question, Mark? What's this? Go.
Well, because I feel like I'm stealing your
oh
response.
My God, this is the same thing. Back to the top of you saying, "What do I want to do today?" Oh, I don't know. This indecision kills speed. Go answer the question.
How to overcome self-doubt is to take action because you do hard things. So it doesn't matter if you really doubt yourself. What is the smallest thing that you can do in the moment, whether you feel like it or not, whether you want to or not, whether you can breathe or not, whether your brain is keeping up with you or not, the smallest thing that you can do to start taking action towards that thing, because you do hard things. And then when you do that, you're going to go, oh, okay, I'm still here. That wasn't that bad. And then the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You know, for me, like one of the most challenging things that I was thinking about this the other day, I've had to lay people off over the 14 years or whatever it is that I've had my business. I've had to lay people off. Sometimes it's very, very hard to do so. And the only thing I can do is go and start walking. And you start walking towards the meeting, towards the conversation. You don't overthink it. You just start. You don't know if it's right. You don't know if it's wrong. You just have to go through the motions without letting your fear stop you or your concern stop you or anything else. And then suddenly you find yourself and you're like, oh, I'm talking right now. Oh, this is happening right now. I am doing this right now. And then you say the hard words and you do the hard things, even though you don't want to. And then afterwards you go, okay, I've done that. I got through it. And so for me, it's like, what action can I take right now without overthinking it, as Evan would tell me I do with everything.
Straight up stole my answer. This Drager. Straight up
Just
stole
took your
my
answer. Took the credit.
What I would add is constantly. So yes, everything Mark said, because it's basically what I say. And then next addition to it is surround yourself constantly with people who are living what you want to live. So people who are conquering their own self-doubt, be around it. Because chances are the people around you right now aren't. The people around you are succumbing to self-doubt. Your parents, your family, your friends, they're all living in self-doubt. You might have the least self-doubt of anybody around you, but you know you need to have even less. And so you level up by, yes, doing the difficult things, and then the inspiration to constantly go and chase after your continued decrease in self-doubt is by being around people doing more. So who do you look up to say, that person, that man, that woman is a beacon of what you want, of self-confidence, of self-love, of self-respect, and then be around them every day. Follow them on Instagram, watch their videos, listen to their podcasts, read their books. You know, if Mark Drager inspires you to be a better human being, then follow him on Instagram, subscribe to his YouTube channel. You can get some Mark Drager in your face, in your heart.
You can DM me and I answer
day.
everything myself.
He does. He still does. He might even give you a custom ringtone message of him saying how great you are. Yeah. So yes, you do difficult things and surround yourself with create that environment so that you're around it every single day, and those people will pull you to be better. Nice.
Yes.
All right.
I like it.
Okay, Mark, if people want to listen to the podcast and other episodes, where are they going?
Well, you can just Google Something to Prove Podcast or Google Evan Carmichael and Podcast, and you'll be able to find us. We're on Apple Podcasts and all the things. Evan, we still have 2 minutes. I want to show you something that I got.
Run.
I'm going to.
Run. Woo, I feel inspired. Okay, there you go.
Do you know this guy?
Ben Settle, Big Book of Business. Never heard of it.
So he is a copywriting guru. You're part of a group, right, where they were talking about people that you should follow.
Okay.
This book, this is so interesting to me. This book is a collection of every book the man has ever put out. So if I know people always ask about copywriting and how to become better at writing copy and what have you. This guy is one of the genius copywriters who teaches other people to write copy.
Okay.
I want to continue to get better at it, but I found a collection, a one book copy of every book he's ever written. There's 12 books in this one book.
That's my next idea. We'll combine Built to Serve and Your One Word.
Yes, into a super book.
Your One Serve.
You're the one built to serve.
Jesus. All right. Thank you guys for the love. We'll see you again next Friday, 2 p.m. Bring your questions. Come out early. Continue to believe. We'll see you soon, guys.
Ciao.